Plane came around in the pre-production phase of the production actually, and it was a request that came through from Adil and Bilal about having this private jet sequence that was crashing, and we're talking how much CG we're going to use, how much is going to be post-production, and then they came to me and said, could we actually build a private jet? So obviously we always try and please. So we came up with this design for a full-size private jet, and then obviously we had a mechanism to then make it rotate as well. So it was actually able to do a full 360 degrees. It was about 15 tons. This thing, massive plane, 20 meters long. And then everything sort of evolves from there. Really, it's you've then got the whole fight sequence that happens inside the plane, and then the fire extinguishers exploding, and the chair that's being pulled through or exploding through the fuselage. So these processes evolve over time through discussions with the directors, and it's a great sequence.
Yes, well, when you first get a script, the essence of production design is like somebody gives you a script and they say, what's that going to look like? That's basically what production design boils down to. And so when I read this script, what inspired me was the travel, the amount of different places that you travel the world. What inspired me as a child watching movies was going to places you wouldn't normally see and visiting countries you wouldn't normally see. And that certainly had this, but then that became a challenge for me to how do I portray Mumbai and Cairo and Shanghai and Las Vegas, and then realized talking to production, we're not going to go to those places. So that's the challenge, and it really is a challenge. And what's good about being a production designer is we have to make those looks in Riyadh. So visiting all the locations, we managed to find hotels that look like Las Vegas. We managed to find streets that we could dress for Mumbai. In Shanghai, for the Shanghai sequence, the outdoor Shanghai sequence, you want to be authentic to these places and respect these places. But if it doesn't look real, people won't believe it, and it'll burst the bubble. And you want people to concentrate on the story. Sometimes production design should be invisible. You just want them to believe they're there. So we found, and it's the balance of all those different looks as well. It went from the texture and vibrancy and chaos of Mumbai Street, and then and the elegance of Cairo, and then the Shanghai sequence was we found in Boulevard City in Riyadh. We used the neon lights and video screens, and then added some Shanghai layers to it. And then, of course, it's all building up to a big finish of what everybody in their mind's eye knows. Even if they haven't been to Las Vegas, everybody knows Las Vegas in their mind, and the color and everything. So it's because of that color and vibrancy at the end, you have to roll that back and start off relatively small. So Mumbai is very early in the film, and it's kind of, although it has color, it's very textural and chaotic. So when you end up in the scale and vibrancy of Las Vegas, you've been on a visual journey. Mumbai was an awful lot of work too, because there's so much detail to get those street vendors and the street life right. There was an awful lot of them. The set dressing team did incredibly well, led by Rosanna, our set decorator, and that was the hardest work, to get all the fine detail right. Sometimes the Shanghai street was about programming the video screens and getting the graphics right, looking authentically Chinese and getting the color and the movement of that. The interior Shanghai set was a fabulous collaborative challenge, and that's where it's great to have. It felt like a film with world-class heads of department and directors and producers, and the commitment from Sela and the team and the Saudi royal family, and the commitment to that, to have the best of everything. We were warmly welcomed there, and so the Shanghai interior set was a fabulous collaboration. It had stunts, it had some great engineering with Duncan, with the glass floor that moved, and breakaway walls, and So the brilliant thing about this movie and any great movie is that it's a collaborative process, and when everybody's layers come together and it's lit and the actors do their thing and the director gets what they want, that's where the magic happens, and that's why this movie feels special.
Sort of mentioned a few times, but we've had a dinner with His Excellency, and all of the HODs came together and was very warmly welcomed by His Excellency, and we just shot a few scenes actually. We did the gas station explosion, and we were watching the rushes with him, and he was, impressed with what was happening and how the film was progressing. And I was just explaining to him how much we'd used on that sequence, how much explosives, how much gasoline, and it came through conversation that I had a record back in 2016 that was now broken, and I think he was very interested to hear more, and the conversation evolved to then having a chat with Adil and Bilal and the producers about actually breaking that record and getting it back again. The process from when we got the green light and we knew that it was going to happen, the process was pretty intense for me. It was about 3 months of designing and researching all of the elements that could go wrong, might go wrong, what's actually going to happen in the sequence. There's obviously a lot of safety involved. We're doing something that no one's really ever done before. So there's a lot of unknowns. We brought in two explosives experts, Paul and Chris, who were fantastic in sort of verifying some of the calculations that I'd made, and really supporting on everything that we planned and calculated. And the lead up to it was amazing as well. Obviously, His Excellency gave a massive amount of support to actually make that happen. The Ministry of Interior were fantastic in being able to give us the permits and create like an exclusion zone in the area that we were working in. Then there's the Saudi police force who were giving lock-offs. There was the Civil Defence Department who were everyone's came together really, and there was a lot of different departments that needed to be part of it, and obviously the production team and Cyrus and the producers Ivan and those guys, and the guys from Sela, Adnan, Mo and Fadi, they're absolutely fantastic in supporting, and there's no way that I can do something like that without their support. I think Saudi's, it's a place that's really escalating in terms of its movement and its vision for filmmaking. I think it's definitely, if not already, a place for filmmaking in the future. They've definitely invested a lot of time, money, and talent as well. And I think it's a really good place to work. The studios are fantastic. The locations are amazing. Having the support of obviously His Excellency and the guys from Sela and the Ministry of Interior to be able to do what I do is really important, and it's definitely somewhere that we recommend working.
Yes, yes, we were warmly welcomed into on this production in Riyadh, and I was very keen to use talent from the region. My crew had people from Egypt, they had people from Jordan, and of course Saudi people, and they had a commitment to bring in talent from around the world, the best of the best. That's what inspired me to be as the best that I could be, because there were so many other great people on the film. And what's noticeable is the commitment by Sela and the Saudi royal family to have the best facilities and compete, and more than compete, as an international filmmaking hub in Riyadh, in Saudi, but also have an authenticity and to have their own signature, and to be the best of the best, but have their own signature style, and be a showcase for what the region can do, and I think it certainly does that. This film.
Thank you very much.